Kim Kardashian Hollywood was huge for you guys, but some of the other celebrity games apps haven't turned out so well. The Taylor Swift app, Nicki Minaj, you know, why pivot from celebrity games rather than trying to find better celebrity games?
Yeah, so Kim was a huge hit and still is. It's still contributing in a big way.
How big?
It was about almost 10 million this last quarter. It's about 200 million to date, a little over 200 million to date. So it's been a great success. She's great to work with, and we tried to follow on with some other celebrities. It just didn't work. Hard to say why. I think Kim has something special about her. But as a company, we really pivoted to new types of games. Still games for women, games like Covet Fashion and Design Home, and that's really been the success of late.
And before we move away from Kim, obviously her participation comes at a cost. So
yes.
How much do you actually make on the game, and how much of a cut does she get?
We do well. She this is I think a big revenue item for her, and she deserves every penny. The incredible brand name and participation and collaboration. So it's a little lower margin for us, but it's been just such a great top line hit. So we're very happy with it.
Still, shares are up 88% over the last year.
Yeah.
What's driving that? If it's not the celebrity games, aside from Kim Kardashian?
Well, we were very fortunate to acquire a company about 1.5 years ago called CrowdStar, and inside of CrowdStar were a couple games that have been real drivers of growth for us. One is Covet Fashion, which is where you take models and you dress them up and submit them for voting, and the other is Design Home, which is a similar sort of a construct, but instead of dressing up a model, you dress up a room in a house. And those have really been two of the big engines for us, that along with Tap Sports Baseball.
So then what's in the pipeline? Where is the next big hit going to be?
Well, in our business, it's really hard to know what the next hit is. However, we've got a couple things that we're working on that we're excited about, one of which is a Disney Pixar game. And that's not out till about 1 year from now, but we're very excited about having the whole cast of characters from the Disney and Pixar universes in this style of game, and we're looking for that to be a big thing.
So what is that game going to be like?
It's a role-playing game or a collectible card game. It's very typical for mobile games, where you go in and you pick a cast of characters and you take them on a journey, and they'll do battle with other groups of characters and such.
Games in messenger apps, what are the prospects you see there, especially with Facebook Messenger, Apple doing this now, in iMessage? How big a growth opportunity could that be?
Yeah, it's hard to say in terms of how it's going to work in the Western markets. It's been doing very well in Asia. We haven't really seen it take off yet from a monetization perspective, but the engagement's been really good. So we're seeing some good indicators. As a company, we're not yet stepping into that, but we'll certainly watch it closely and see how it grows.
Now, it's interesting when you look at the China and the U.S. or Western market. In China, you've got these hardcore games that really dominate, and in the U.S., it's a lot of social games.
Yep.
Do you see that evolving one way or the other?
In terms of the West, I think we'll actually see growth of these social games. I think games that are called casual, that's probably the wrong nomenclature, because a lot of these fans of these more casual-oriented games are big spenders and very, very engaged with these games and spend a lot of time and a lot of money. And I think apps for women, as an example, on the gaming front, is going to see a lot of growth, and that's something that we're really taking to heart.
How much do you think about diversity, and I'm very concerned about diversity in tech in general, but also in gaming? This is an industry that has historically been sort of hostile to women, and social games have helped, but when you have a game where you dress models and vote on them, you wonder about the what good that's actually doing for the world.
Well, it provides a tremendous amount of pleasure for the folks who play it, and 90% are women, so obviously they love doing it. We take the kind of diversity angle very seriously. I have 2 daughters, and I'd love them to be in tech, and so we do our best to hire lots of female creative leaders and help us understand that market, because that's a great opportunity for us.
And do you think about the representation of women in games as well? And how do you think about that? Yeah,
we do, and certainly with Kim Kardashian, obviously it's very female-oriented, and we see that with obviously Covet Fashion. So working on and helping us understand the markets as well as being inside the games is a part of the whole.
That, as you said, was a big acquisition for you. As bookings rise, as margins rise, what options are you looking at to return cash to shareholders versus M&A?
Well, we love the notion of M&A, and we think there's a great opportunity over the next 24 months and maybe 36 months to be able to consolidate and buy some studios and bring them in, as long as they're a good structural and financial and cultural fit. So we think we'll be looking very seriously. Really the other option for us, I think, at this point is to invest in development for future games and trying to create more growth games.
What do you think is the biggest competition?
Yeah,
Candy Crush?
It's a great question because there's no one game that we really compete against, or no company that we compete against. I think it's just, as we talk about so much, it's just a share of time, and there's just so much to do on a phone now. Whether you're being entertained or you're getting information or some other factor, I think we compete against the minutes in a day and the spare minutes a day, and I think it's our job to really create something that is compelling enough for for someone to spend time in it versus somewhere else, whether it's a social network or what have you.